And now to a critical issue facing the airline industry, and that is an unprecedented pilot shortage. Pilots are retiring in droves, as it turns out, and not enough new pilots are being trained. Boeing says the global aviation industry will need 800,000 new pilots over the next 20 years. Special correspondent Kat Wise recently traveled to Bend, Oregon, to visit a community college. It's part of a broader effort by community colleges to better prepare students for the workforce. And the latest in our series on rethinking college and part of our regular education segment, Making the Grade.
So today I think we'll do some steep turns.
On a recent morning, student pilot Beverly Taylor and instructor Adam Mitchell headed to a small plane at the Bend, Oregon airport.
Parking brake, set inoperative, documents, check.
As Taylor went through her pre-flight checklist and closely examined the plane, Mitchell quizzed her.
What's our nose strut called?
It is called, I know it, oleo.
Yep, air oleo.
Air oleo.
Yep.
After nearly 70 hours in the cockpit, Taylor earned her private pilot's license earlier this month, the first step on what is often a time-consuming and expensive journey to become an airline pilot. Growing up, Taylor never thought she'd be where she is today.
I grew up kind of poor, like single mother, we lived in a trailer park, and none of my family members went to college. You know, they all had kind of nothing, no huge job. So I never pursued it.
After high school, Taylor spent 6 years in the Navy. When she got out, she learned she could use the GI Bill to pay for pilot training. She could have applied to one of the 4-year aviation programs around the country, but she wanted to get her new career started as quickly as possible.
I'm 27 years old, which is not old, I know that, but I'm not fresh out of high school. You know, I don't want to have to go through the whole bachelor system, so this is a good opportunity for me.
Taylor is about 6 months into a 2-year pilot training program at the Central Oregon Community College in Bend. It's one of about 70 similar programs at community colleges around the country, gaining in popularity as word spreads about opportunities in the aviation industry.
This is an unprecedented time to be interested in aviation.
Carl Baldessari is the director of the program, which began 13 years ago and currently has about 200 students enrolled learning to be airplane, helicopter, and drone pilots. 70% who begin the program complete it, and there's a wait list to get in.
So if you're on a westerly heading, while accelerating, the compass is going to swing temporarily to the north.
Graduates walk away with an associate's degree in aeronautical science and all the flight hours and certifications needed to be a commercial pilot. The price tag for airplane students, about $80,000 for tuition, fees, and flight time. A 4-year aviation bachelor's degree can cost more than double that. Many of the students, like Taylor, are military veterans, using their GI benefits to launch into new careers. Taylor's instructor, Adam Mitchell, is also a vet.
We like to showcase everyone's first solo because it's when they are actually sort of becoming a pilot.
The 37-year-old is a former enlisted medical specialist for the Navy and Marines who completed both helicopter and fixed-wing pilot training. For the past 8 months, he's been teaching to build up his flight hours, but he's about to move on.
I've just hit 1,000 hours. Actually, I think today's flight actually put me over 1,000 hours. So I just got picked up by a kind of like regional corporate airline up in Seattle.
Mitchell's quick move into the new job probably wouldn't have happened just 4 or 5 years ago. Back then, new pilots would typically spend several years teaching and flying commercially before earning enough hours to become a corporate or eventually an airline pilot. Starting salaries at the regional airlines were about $25,000 a year. Now, because there is a big demand for flight instruction time, recent pilot grads like Mitchell are getting their required hours done a lot faster. And Baldessari says because of the pilot shortage, the airlines are ready to snatch them up.
Today, the difference is that after about 15 to 18 months as an instructor, these airplane pilots can move directly to the airlines. The regional airlines will take them right on, and those airline salaries have essentially doubled.
The pilot shortage is leading to greater competition between the airlines for new talent, and some companies are now recruiting student pilots while they're still in school.
Afternoon. How y'all doing? All right.
Super jazzed, super excited to be here.
Brian McCune is the manager of pilot development for Alaska Airlines.
We're the 5th biggest airline, but we are probably the top place to work.
McCune visits the Central Oregon Community College campus and 22 other aviation programs twice a year to recruit students for Horizon Air, Alaska's regional carrier.
Hey Bryce, how you doing?
Many of the other major airlines now have similar recruiting efforts.
Just keep us informed of your hours. Because
I've been doing that.
Okay, great.
I've been getting emails about that.
Students accepted into Horizon's competitive program, like military vet Bryce Thornton, receive a $7,500 stipend for school costs and a guaranteed job after they graduate and meet the required flying hours.
We do not want to end up in a situation where we don't have pilots. It's very, very competitive, and there's only so many. And so as this shortage increases and the pool gets smaller and smaller, you can imagine it's going to be more enticement and more bonuses. All the airlines want to grow.
How much the industry grows will depend in part on efforts to diversify and expand the workforce.
I'm going to turn off the fasten seatbelt sign at this time.
Currently, just 5 to 7% of pilots in the major airlines are women. Baldessari says one of the goals of his program is to improve those stats.
I think it's important to actually market ourselves to women to show them that this is absolutely a viable career path for them. It's just as important to be able to employ women faculty, instructors, as mentors, as role models, as examples of exactly what you can achieve in this industry.
There's also an effort underway to recruit future pilots while they are still in high school.
Let's climb out at 70.
The Central Oregon Community College Aviation Program recently donated a used FAA-certified flight simulator to a nearby school in Sisters, Oregon. 35 juniors and seniors are enrolled in a unique program teaching them to become pilots before some of them even have their driver's license.
Got a little cotter pin right there.
Cheryl Yeager is the school's flight science instructor.
The fact that we can hook them in high school and then funnel them into COCC, which is kind of the plan, it's a career waiting to happen, and it's a really good career.
Back at the Bend Airport, student Beverly Taylor is perfecting her takeoffs and landings. After she completes her training next year, she plans to keep her options open, but she wouldn't mind becoming a test pilot for NASA one day. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Kat Wise in Bend, Oregon.